Connect on social media. Connect on Facebook and Twitter. Connect with iPower One Nation. Stay connected with iPower One.
From the Hard Planet Media Studios in New York, this is iPower 2 This Moment.
Teachers who worked with a boy who police say was murdered by his own mother gathered for a candlelight vigil. Police say 7-year-old Abraham Cardenas was stabbed and decapitated by his mother inside their home in a Rochester suburb Thursday night. She was arrested after a struggle with deputies. Now, it's not clear what led to the murder. Abraham's teachers say they never detected any signs of trouble in his family.
We've learned new information about a deadly police-involved shooting in Brooklyn. Investigators say the man shot was holding the head of a welding torch, not a gun, when he was shot in Crown Heights on Wednesday. Now, the video shows Saheed Vassell pointing the object at people minutes before he was shot 9 times. Police were called to the neighborhood by people claiming he had a gun. Vassell's parents say their son suffered from bipolar disorder.
Stop resisting.
An officer arrested. He was captured on video putting this 13-year-old girl in handcuffs, but now he's the one facing criminal charges. I'm Jim Rosenfield. That officer from Gloucester Township is off the job tonight. NBC 10's Aaron Baskerville shows us just what led up to his arrest.
Put your hand, calm down.
A 13-year-old girl screamed after investigators say Gloucester Township officer John Flynn smacked her twice on the side of the head. An officer's body camera caught the 27-year-old's actions on March 8th. The township's mayor, David Mayer, had never seen the video before we showed him tonight.
I don't believe that is conduct that is fitting for a Gloucester Township police officer.
Flynn, who has been suspended, is now facing a simple assault charge. Investigators say the girl listened to the officer's instructions and allowed him to handcuff her. Mayor tells NBC 10 he believes this went down at a group home, and the chief was the one who forwarded the case to the Camden County Prosecutor's Office.
Do you think he should stay on if he is convicted of these charges?
So I think that the criminal justice has to serve its course, and if he's found guilty, if not, then that's an internal issue that we have to figure out.
In the criminal complaint, it never states why officers were called out to the group home for the 13-year-old. It only mentions the evidence used to charge Flynn.
Whether it's a 13-year-old girl or a 55-year-old man, I mean, we have certain standards that we have to live by, and the police have to live by, and we expect that of our police officers.
The county prosecutor's office is not releasing the exact nature of that disturbance call. Tonight, police say they have no comment. In Gloucester Township, Aaron Baskerville, NBC 10 News.
MMA fighter Conor McGregor found himself in a very different kind of arena.
We caught him as he left criminal court in Brooklyn. He's facing 2 charges tonight after a highly publicized incident at the Barclays Center. News 4's Erica Byfield reports from outside the courthouse in downtown Brooklyn. Erica?
Well, David, the star MMA fighter barely had anything to say inside court today, and then he came outside and made his way to a waiting SUV. Police charged McGregor with assault and criminal mischief. That outburst prompted by a run-in his training partner had with another fighter. Kyan Cowley, also involved, also now facing charges. UFC's president, Dana White, talked to McGregor before he turned himself in.
It's not that I don't think he understood what happened. It's just he justified it. It was justified to him that, listen, I'm sorry about Mike and I'm sorry about Rose and whoever else might have whatever, but this had to be done.
This morning, McGregor had the same stoic look on his face as investigators let him out of the 78th precinct. Just like in court hours later, his bail bondsman spoke to Conor and then News 4.
He just said thank you very much and he's glad he's out.
So the judge gave McGregor a $50,000 bond. She told him to stay away from 5 people in particular, and she also gave him his passport back. In the end, the UFC said that all of this violence led them to cancel 3 fights associated with this weekend series.
A survivor of the school shooting in Parkland, Florida, is uniting with students here in New York City to fight gun violence. Aaliyah Eastman joined the Reverend Al Sharpton at the National Action Network headquarters in Harlem to announce an anti-gun violence march starting at Trump Tower in Manhattan on June 2nd. At least 17 people were killed at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in February.
Officials say that those men should be considered armed and dangerous, and that there's even a reward from the FBI for information leading to their arrest. It all happened at this Target on West 225th Street last week. On that Monday morning, when the store had only been open for about 15 minutes, is when police say 2 men went in the front door and headed straight for the office that they say housed the store's vault. They say the 2 men wearing masks filled a duffel bag with $350,000 and left the store how they'd come in. They crossed the street and hopped on a blue and white motorcycle with the duffel bag slung over the passenger's back. The duo took off towards Bailey Avenue. People in the area say they wouldn't expect something like this to happen here.
It's safe. I've been here a long time, around this area, but it never happened, something like that.
Like, you don't expect it to happen, and so, I'm not saying that there's no security here, but I think it's a crime that you don't necessarily expect.
Officials tell us that no one was injured during that robbery, but that they're still looking for the thieves. In Marble Hill, Justine Miller, News 12 The Bronx.
I'm Jill Wagner. Here are some top stories from Cheddar on News 12. Job growth slowed down a bit in March. The Labor Department says the U.S. economy added 103,000 jobs, which was way below expectations. The unemployment rate stayed at 4.1% for the 6th straight month. It's a 17-year low. Most of the job gains this month were in the healthcare sector, followed by professional and business services and manufacturing. The App Store is shrinking. The number of apps in Apple Store decreased by 100,000 last year for the first time ever, according to a new report. Back in 2016, Apple started removing old apps that were no longer compatible with new software or that didn't follow Apple's guidelines. The data shows developers submitted fewer apps in 2017 compared to 2016. And it's the one show to rule them all. Amazon's Lord of the Rings series could cost up to $1 billion. It's on track to be the most expensive TV series ever made. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the upcoming show already has a 5-season commitment and is contractually obligated to enter production within the next 2 years. And that is your Cheddar Business and Tech Update. I'm Jill Wagner from Cheddar headquarters in New York.
Police say they are still investigating the early morning stabbing on Sunday, which killed 41-year-old Wei Lin. According to investigators, Lin got into some kind of dispute outside of this establishment, Go One Sushi, which police say operates as a karaoke bar. Cops then say Lin called a livery cab to take him to Maimonides Hospital, where police responded to the 911 call. They say Lin was pronounced dead at the hospital. Investigators haven't released a suspect or motive for the stabbing yet. We did see several surveillance cameras on the block, but do not know if they were working at the time. We also tried calling to get in touch with a manager at Go One Sushi, but we were told the phone number listed on the awning apparently belongs to someone else. Police tape, as you can see, still surrounding the establishment, and I also want to point out this all happened right down the street from an indoor kids playground as well as a public school, and anyone with any information on the case is asked to call police. In Sunset Park, Hannah Klieger.
18-year-old Andrew Tiburcio says it's an accident waiting to happen.
I seen a couple times when I was walking, some people almost got hit.
In fact, he says based on his research, many accidents have already happened here at the corner of Hamilton Avenue and Clinton Street under the BQE.
It's dangerous.
Data from the city's Department of Transportation shows at least 14 injuries since 2016. And this group of students won't stand for it. They're part of the Red Hook Initiative, a nonprofit empowering young people to solve issues they see in their neighborhood. The group found out that on average, it takes 75 seconds to cross from here where I'm standing all the way to that sidewalk on the other side of the median. But the light only gives you about half that time.
So it's a very common everyday experience for people to run across traffic to cross the street.
That's only part of the problem. They found cracks in the sidewalk, trash on the median, and poor lighting.
You really have to think about your life when you're crossing this highway. That's how serious it is.
For the last 2 years, they say they've been begging the city for a fix, yet nothing's been done. The city's Department of Transportation tells us they will meet with the Red Hook Initiative to address their issues. These students turned activists say they will keep fighting not only for their lives, but for everyone who crosses this busy street. In Red Hook, Paula Vassan, News 12, Nightside.
Irina Krush and Alexander Lenderman have been playing chess since they were about 9 years old, Krush learning from her father and Lenderman from his grandfather.
At first I didn't want to learn, but then he just kind of insisted a little bit, and then I just was interested. And right away I seemed to show some natural talent.
Now they're both heading to St. Louis for this year's U.S. Championship in April, an invitation-only chess competition, but not quite for the first time.
I played my first U.S. Championship in 1995 when I was 11. I think I'm still the youngest player ever to play in the U.S. Championship.
Lenderman has also competed before. He tied for first place in 2014, but lost in the playoff.
Hopefully I'll play better than in my previous years.
They're both excited for this year's event.
They put on such a fantastic tournament where thousands of people around the world and in the U.S. are watching you. They have great, coverage, live commentary.
While their goal is always to win, they tell me the game has really shaped who they've become.
Logical thinking, objectivity, ability to see ahead.
And it's their passion.
I just love the game. Anything that you're able to give your attention to 100% that you enjoy, it's a good feeling.
That's why they're both passing on their knowledge through coaching. They say at this point in their careers, their goals aren't necessarily to add more trophies to their collections, but to make a difference.
Help inspire as many people through my talent of chess as I can possibly inspire.
And of course, another title won't hurt. In Marine Park, Emily Lorsch.
Traffic and weather meteorologist Bruce Avery, and here is your latest weekend forecast. And not the classic spring weekend we were hoping for, but it'll be an okay weekend looking at the sky cover and the humidity, the wind speeds, and the temperatures around the 5 boroughs in the tri-state area. You can see the temperatures are below normal, and it is a bit breezy with winds gusting 20, 22 miles an hour at times, maybe a few mile-an-hour gusts stronger than that. But it makes the temperatures feel like the 30s, even though the temperatures are in the 40s, and they should be in the 50s this time of year. And we did dodge a bullet. Actually, we're going to dodge 2 bullets. One on Saturday morning with some light snowfall predicted a couple of days ago, but it looks like that storm never really materialized. And then going into tomorrow morning, another little wave of energy seems to be staying to our south and east, so we're going to get a decent day today and an even better but not perfect day on Sunday. Some afternoon sunshine today and chilly winds out of the north and west and gusting up, and there are the projected high temperatures. It'll feel like the 30s, and even though the temperatures are in the 40s tonight, still cold, winds out of the north. There are the projected lows, and so bundle up because it's going to feel tonight like it's down in the 20s. Clouds and radar show down to the south and off to the south and east rainfall, and the futurecast shows that rain tracks southwest and northeast and gets a little bit of snow on the northern fringes of it early on Sunday morning, but it stays well out of the city and then tracks past eastern Long Island and doesn't really give us more than a nuisance, and there'll be plenty of sunshine on Sunday. Some sun today after a few morning sprinkles. On Sunday, sun, same for Monday, temperatures below normal. Showers for Tuesday, a bit milder for the end of the week into the weekend.